All right, so we already know la man, this is what Elite looks like. Yo, no, I know y'all were happy with that game. It was definitely what Elite looks like in terms of, just looking at the Nets versus the Clippers, right? In terms of just looking at the Nets versus the not the Nets versus the Clippers, my fault. The Nets versus the Bucks. The Nets versus the Bucks. The Bucks were on the road. They play again tonight. It was a home and home, obviously. Not in terms of, home for the Nets, home for the Bucks, but home and home back to back. They just stay in the same place, right? They play each other for back to back games, not 2 games in a row, but 2 matchups in a row. So when you look at it from that perspective, we're gonna see maybe they might do some adjustments in this game, right? We'll see how the Nets adjust. We'll see how the Bucks look. But I had a complete different takeaway than the masses, because a lot of people you saw with the especially because it was KD versus Giannis, it came down to that 42 versus 49, right? Obviously, a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, Giannis frying, Giannis having 49. If he's having 49 on the Nets, no defense. What is Embiid gonna do? Etc." What is like? I'm here to, what I'm here to do. I debunk all those fugazi ass narratives. You know what I mean? I cancel that shit. Give enlightenment to what's really happening, what the real perspective is, right? And what the real lens and the real trained eye actually sees, and what it actually means, and what it actually tells you, right? So that's what I'm here to do. And obviously, KD, you already know, like, KD has back-to-back 42-point games, like, and he's not even like, KD's not even fully in the full bag yet. Like, he's in the bag. Don't get it twisted. Like, you already know, like he said to PG Tucker, I got everything, man. You know I got that in my bag. Like, when you talking about I can't do it on the right side. The right side, though, PJ capping. You've been shifting left and right. You've been doing the stanky leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, he been playing hopscotch. Like, let's go back to the Houston series. PJ Tucker, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know you there. You have great defense, yes, but you don't act like you haven't been getting fried all day, every day. Like, don't do that. Like, you can see that. That was like, he's like, I got that, bro. That's why he's laughing. Like, you can't be serious. On the right side. on the right side, though, that was funny, though. But that's how Hoopers talk every single day. That's why come on now. Certain players, certain matchups. That's why you'll see, and sorry, I digress, but that's why you'll see sometimes in certain matchups, right? In certain things, when a player like KD gonna talk some smack, the best player, LeBron, whoever, they're gonna talk some shit today because, this is like, I've been waiting for this, right? Type of thing. They're not gonna get mic'd. You know what I mean? That's why you see sometimes a PJ Tucker is mic'd or a role player is mic'd, because those guys decline that shit. I promise you. I don't even need to be there to know that. You're not gonna catch me today. Like, I'm gonna be cussing. Like, I'm talking shit today. Nope, you're not micing me. And then now, even the days that they are mic'd, you know how many times, if you actually the person who's doing the editing, you know how many kind of, bruh, the kind of shit they have to cut out, because they have to find the right clip, the right one that can be, they're not cussing. You know how many times, like, even the coaches, how many times they've cussed? Like, they have the mic. You know how many shit they be hearing? That's why a lot of the players are probably like, no, you're not catching me today. Take off that. I'm not wearing no mic. I'm not snitching on myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're going to do with that later down the line when I retire. They're going to, do they delete those clips? Do they delete it? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. People don't think like that, but, that just because you don't see mans talking shit, because I know a lot of people with the KPJ in the locker room, I was frying Drew. Humble yourself. It's your first 50. They all talk garbage, man. Just because you don't see it, come on now, man. If you hoop, Man's talk, like, come on the court, like, come on now. Mans are talking every day, every play, like, bruh. Anyways, I digress. But now, let's talk about the Nets and the Bucks. Let's go into the context, because I give you that context. Let's go straight right into it, boy. So you already know, like, man. Now, first, we'll talk about the Nets in terms of just offensive weapon. Now, I know Kyrie hasn't been Kyrie as of late, maybe the last 3, couple games. He's on Ramadan, you know what I mean? He's fasting. I know other players have done it, and it looks like they don't miss a beat, right? It looks like nothing is happening, right? But they're used to it. They've been fasting their whole life. This is a new journey and a new kind of journey that Kyrie's on now. So he's not used to it. So it's going to affect him even more. Like, and for some people, I know people, oh my God, you have to be here. Like, you're just talking about Kyrie. Like, listen, I just be real. If Kyrie susses, I'll whoever susses, anybody susses, I'm going to say, yo, he didn't perform today, fam. Like, you got to make that shot. Like, even Katie, that last shot, I know he's cheese. He got to make that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he wanted to, but, and, he's just short. You know what I'm saying? But Blake had a bad pass, was wide, so affected the drifter, the fade, the pull-up, right on the side, the no-dribble pull-up affected that. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm not going to go into that. But, Kyrie, normally on his left-hand layups, He has his lift and everything, but you could see he's more so grounded. He doesn't have the pep in his step. He doesn't have, he doesn't have. That's why people are like, oh my God, Drew locked him up. Listen, when Kyrie's normal, even ask Drew. Come on now, about Drew will lock him up. You put him in jail. He played great defense. Drew is Drew. Even though 1-2 plays, he played good defense on KD, but more so like that defense don't affect those guys. Like they could fry all world, all elite defense, and that's why they're on that tier. They don't need to get a screen and get me off him. Like they don't need that. Yes, it does happen, but they don't need that. But at the end of the day, Kyrie, like listen, you could see on his 1-2, like when he will switch hands, easy left-hand bunnies that don't ever miss. Like this man has his right hand and his left hand is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like my right hand is like Kyrie's left hand is like my right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who Kyrie is, right? So like I'm seeing misses, I'm seeing bunnies, I'm seeing some takes miss, I'm seeing like, and I'm like, okay, he doesn't have the same lift, the same diddy bop, the same pep in his step, you know what I'm saying, that he normally has. So the bounce and all that type of stuff, it don't look the same. So I know he's affected by that and his efficiency, and this is his best efficient year. So the fact that he's having bad efficient games or non-efficient games and stuff like that, there's something affecting him, right? You could see it even in his body language and in his energy, right? So, obviously, like Kyrie will be Kyrie come playoff time if these teams were to match up. Then you add the fact you add Harden to the mix. But we're not even going to talk about adding Harden. We're just looking at even just these two, just this team right now with these two facing each other. Now you look at KD. A lot of people, oh my God, he shot 33 shots, to get his 42. Giannis shot 36 shots to get his 49. I don't care. Efficiency is elite when it happens. But it's not the end all be all because, again, the context of the game is what you have to look at. You can't just look at the stats. You can't just look at the 33 shots. You have to look at the aggression. You have to look at how the game was dictated. You have to look at what was a necessity. Am I going to sit back and, Kyrie's struggling and then just run regular offense when man's is struggling? Joe Harris isn't hitting his normal shots that he's hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I just going to just leave it at that? Right? Joe Harris is 2 for 7. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know, what's his name? Shamet was 5 for 9 and he was playing well. Shamet been playing well. But at the end of the day, like, Jeff Green 2 for 6. Like, man's is struggling. Am I really just going to keep passing to them and we down and we seen how the momentum shifted? No, it's time for me to take over and bring us back. And that's what I saw from KD. The fact that KD, because remember, he's come back from injury and whatever, and how he's integrating. He's slowly, like, that's how KD reps up. And people get blinded with that and they think that, oh, he's not the same. He's not moving the same. He's not doing his signature double cross. He's not doing all these things. He's not doing that. And KD, his mindset is he likes to rep up. That's what he's been doing. I like to rep up. So when I first come, I'm so elite that I could just play and just catch and shoot. I get it. Play to come to the minute, catch, shoot, come one dribble, pull up, like limited movements, to score. People look at it as he's not moving the same. He's not doing it like his head. He's not blown by. I'm like, come on now. He's ramping it up. When it's required, he just, you don't just come ham. And that's because, remember, that's what was the knock. You got to understand. Everything is context. For KD, remember, that's how he tore his Achilles. Remember, he came, he was catching and shooting, and he's like, he felt nice. And then literally, let me get in my bag now. And then boom. So that's the context for KD. Moving forward, if he comes off an injury, you're going to see that slight increase come off the bench. I'm going to fry. I still have my ability. It's not like I'm not doing ability. I'm still mobile, get my buckets. Like I'm not injured. Like I'm still here, but how I get my buckets they'll increase. This ladders. It's a step. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start off with just getting buckets within the offensive flow and that takeover mode. I'm not going to come out the gate just coming out doing that. Double cross. You know what I mean? I'm going to do my hezzy pull up. I'm going to come off the screen, one dribble pull up mid range. I'm going to catch it in a post, face up, bucket. I'm going to catch it shoulder, bucket. I'm going to catch, come off the curl, catch it, bucket, catch it, one dribble, dime or bucket. Like, I'm going to get it in limited movements or whatever, but the trained eye sees that. It's just a ramp up. He's not injured. I'm just getting used to it, get my body flow, right? Just come on now, get the groove, just get right. And even with that, he's still getting buckets. And bruh. And let me not go into that. But now, this game, what I like, I didn't look at the 33 shots because normally KD's always efficient. And even some of his 33 shots, some shit was back rim, some shit was rattles. Like, it wasn't like, you know what I mean? He still had great takes and that he normally would hit those bitches. Like, he could have had 60 this game easily. Right? Easily, he could have. Right? But I like what I saw in terms of the aggression. I like what I saw in terms of, like he said, that's what I was always waiting for. Can KD still, and I know he can, but you have to see it, obviously, just to shut mans up who are saying he's not moving the same, he's not doing this, even though he's frying. Just that we need a bucket. I need to take over now. I'm doing what I did in the finals. You know what I mean? And that's what you saw. Yes, it didn't. The result wasn't he had 42 and it was different efficiency, obviously, like it was in the finals. But the fact that he was able to take 33 shots, that's to me is a positive. I don't look at that as a negative. Some people are going to nitpick and find a way. I don't look at efficiency when it's not efficient. It depends. If you're not efficient and you're just forcing. Now and your team is, and there is a guy beside you who's hot and you're taking shots away from him and whatever, when you know you're struggling and it's not needed, but you're doing it because you want to get your buckets, that's where you can be like, okay, I don't like that. Then on being inefficient is a knock. But when a guy who's always efficient now goes inefficient, I don't look at the inefficiency as a knock. I look at it as, why are you inefficient? Why are you being so aggressive? Why are you taking that amount of shots? Because Kyrie's struggling, everybody's struggling, they're taking momentum, they're carrying. It's my time now. Enough is enough. I'm not going to let us go out like that. Are you dumb? And that's the reason why they only lost by 3, because KD was frying. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at that as a positive. And even when it came down to a last shot. And you can see even when they forced Middleton to miss, Kyrie poked it. Middleton had to take a rush shot with the shot clock dying. And then they got the rebound. KD's coming down. I knew the Hezzy pull-up was coming. And that's why he was looking at the bench. He's like, you lucky Nash called timeout. Because if he didn't call timeout, you know what time it was. I mean, you weren't going to hit that. Are you stupid? I already know that was the conversation. You know what I mean? Obviously not verbatim, but that was happening and the screen cut. You know what I mean? They be cutting KD when he's about to talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I already know what it was. I don't need to be there. I already know. Hoopers know. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, right, it's just what elite looks like. I liked what I saw. I like everything when I saw from KD. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, okay, but the Bucks did X, Y, and Z. Now, Middleton had a great game, right? KD been on Middleton. He has his length, locking that up to the fourth quarter. He went to work, right? We saw Middleton go to work and whatever. We saw Drew Holiday go to work and whatever. And Giannis was going to work too. And the fact that Giannis had 49 and y'all only won by 3, the Bucks only won by 3, that to me is a negative for the Bucks. It's not a positive. Now, we'll see how they move today. It's a completely different situation, different game. But to me, Giannis frying wasn't that 49, and people say, oh my God, 49. Giannis was frying. The main thing for me, what I saw from Giannis that I liked was the fact that he was doing, he'll face up and he'll take one dribble, he'll bump DeAndre and then do a post fade, do a fade and do one dribble pull-ups. He was doing half spins, up and unders. He was doing mid-range takes, step back. I was liking that. That's was Giannis don't even need to shoot threes. If he could do that at a potent, high octane level, that makes this team that translates to playoffs. Now, again, is that Giannis though? And that's what people are looking at. When I see Giannis frying and how he fried. If Giannis was just eating and all his buckets were in the paint and he got 49 off paint, I would say this might be a problem in the future, for the Nets or whatever. Oh my God, they have no defense. I might subscribe to that, which I still won't, because defensive schemes, there's always ways around it. You could build a wall. There's always ways around that schematically. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, in terms of how the game plan was for if Giannis gets 50 off of jump shots, we will die by that. We will die by that. So it's not like he was frying in terms of men are trying to guard him and they're getting cooked and you know what I mean? And he's breaking chests. Yes, some plays that happen. But overall, he shot majority jump shots on his buckets. Majority was jump shots, and that's an anomaly. There's only been, I think, 2 times in his career where he's had more games of more than 3 threes or more than 4 threes or whatever it was. And this was one of them. Come on now, that's not translating. Well, I'm not saying it won't, because this could be a new Giannis. I will never say it's not, but based off history, you have to show me that. I'm not going to assume you're doing that. That's just no IQ, because that's an anomaly. Why would I assume the anomaly is going to be a regular thing? No, I'm going to assume the regular thing is the regular thing. Now, if you do it multiple times and becomes a new norm, then we change how we look at you, right, in terms of Giannis. But for now, that's the game plan. I don't even think I don't think Nash and the coaching staff and the Nets need to overreact. I think that game plan, what they did, do it again. Do it again. I was always telling people this, you don't even need to build a wall. Just sag off. Put your center on him. When they put Horford on him before, Boston, whatever. Sag off. Don't guard him tight. You know what I'm saying? Let him shoot. If he gets 50 on jump shots, we lose every game. Do it 4 times out of 7. Do it 4 times out of 7. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm yes, he scored, but it's not it's it's not like he fried. Like, it's not the real, like when a hooper says you fried, like you were unguardable. He was guardable, but he was only unguardable because we weren't guarding you and you hit your shots. Like, that's completely different context. So I'm not going to be like media and fans because, you know, they're always looking for the Nets they're always trying to find any opportunity they can to kind of just destroy the Nets. So, oh my God, look, Giannis fried. I already know that's how they're going to look at it. But the real know what the real is. At the end of the day, Giannis knows. Giannis himself knows. That's why he said, I just have to hit my jump shots. I'm not going to go into a scoring battle with KD. Like, he's not even going to say that. He's not going to say, I'm here. Yeah, I'm scoring with KD. He already knows what it is. Like, Giannis knows. Like, his response told me everything. Yeah, it was a humble response. You know what I'm saying? And yes, Giannis is humble, but there's a difference between humble and just the truth and knowing what it is. He knows what it is. He's not gonna go down that rabbit hole of waking up KD and like, I can score with KD. Like, come on now. He knows he was open. This was an anomaly. He don't hit like this. He was even surprised himself. We know that, right? And I like Giannis' mentality, and I like he has a killer mentality. But at the end of the day, killer mentality and a lack of ability, you know what I mean? There's killer mentality. You're gonna be killer mentality in what you can do. But now that you snap out of that you snap out and the ability you don't normally have, no matter your killer mentality, that ability isn't there yet for you to do that every single day, every single bucket, multiple times, you know, is not there yet. You know, there's a disconnect. You know, that's why it's the same thing we see with Westbrook. Westbrook isn't pulling like Steph or whatever. Some games he might get out of that and do it, even with Jimmy Butler, stuff like that. So they do have killer mentalities, but at the end of the day, that ability they're not on the level of like a D-Book, a Kyrie, a KD, like where they have killer mentality and ability, right? That's where like it's guaranteed buckets. Those guys is kind of it's a play-by-play, game-by-game basis. You know what I mean? LeBron is well, LeBron doesn't even have the killer mentality, but ability-wise, it's the same story for a lot of those guys, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna change my game plan if I'm the Nets. That's the question for the Bucks. Can Giannis do this when it matters? Can Giannis do this at a high potent level? And even within the game, I won't even get into that if you want to get into actually like breaking down the actual clutch plays and the clutch buckets, Giannis didn't shoot threes and hit threes when it mattered. It was mainly Middleton and it was Drew, and Giannis did a 1-2 blow by, and he still, even when he had a face up with Blake, did he do the same step back and whatever and when it mattered? No, he went to his all rip through baseline reverse layup. He went to the paint. So even him, with all that buckets that he did in all the quarters, when it mattered, he didn't even go to that. So that tells me that, okay, playoff time with more pressure and more everything, this is cap. This is not what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it told me. That's what I saw. Because he don't even believe in himself. He's not going to pull that. Like, the way he was pulling free, well, you know, he just pulling like he didn't think about it. He just pulled it. I don't think he's going to pull. I don't even think he's going to take, even if he's open, he's going to take the same amount in the playoffs with pressure, and we need this game, and, you know, he's not going to take that. So, that's what I took away from this game. That's what my eye saw. That's what the trained eye sees. You know what I'm saying? And that's the lens I was looking at it from. And that's where I was like, you know what? I do like what I saw from, like in terms of now, I want to look at Pascal versus Giannis and stuff like that. No ability. Are you taking opportunities like in big games or whatever to still practice your takes? If they give it to you, are you going to take it? Are you still going to, you know, oh, and they gave me this, no, handoff or whatever. Are you going to try and improve your arsenal? Like, you take these games and try and actually apply those things you work on. And he actually did that. So I did rate that from Giannis. He didn't just, you know, he could have not taken the shots like Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? He could have done that, but he didn't. He didn't. So I did like that from him. But this could do more damage than good. This could make the Bucks themselves believe that, oh, Giannis is like that. Let's play this play style. When the hardest thing and the best way for the Bucks to play is like what they've been doing in situations sometimes, because they've been playing completely different. They don't do completely straight 5 out. They do mix of both, right? In times, and their best offense at times is Giannis doing the screens, like I've said, Jrue Holiday being a point guard and coming off the screens and pulling in the gaps and creating, throwing alleys. So Giannis hitting him on the rolls, and then now he euros and breaks, and then, you know, rocker step or whatever he does, right? You know, that could call fake euro, that where you go and you fake and then you go same way, all that type of stuff, and then whatever crossover from that layup, downhill type of plays off the roll, right? That's where you could see, okay, I like Giannis in that. And then Middleton now doing the KD bag. I always like when Middleton and KD play. Like, Middleton actually has KD like ability, but it's not as potent and as elite as KD, obviously. But like, he's actually a poor man's KD when you look at it. Like, he is, to be honest. But he doesn't, he don't talk. He's under the radar. But they have a battle they have a game within a game battle. I already know. KD knows, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, because KD, Middleton can, off the screen, he can pull in the gap, right? When KD's on him. So, they have to switch that he could fry a mismatch. Like, he has that ability. He could shoot over majority of the defenders, not all, right? But he could shoot like he's still a 6'8", 6'9", right? So, he has length too. And, when I look at that like you have Middleton playing like a Middleton and playing proper, and Middleton, Giannis pick and roll, right? And then now it's hard if they roll, throw the alley to Giannis. Like, that's more so where the Bucks are tougher to guard and they're harder to beat. But this Giannis bringing the ball downhill, I always subscribe to that if I'm the defense guarding him. Do that all day, every day, and 10 times, and twice on Sunday. I'm not mad at that, because we could pad that. We could find ways to pad that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at it from that perspective, again, this might do more damage than good. It might make them feel like the Bucks feel like, okay, we can go back to that and we could do this. And then now Drew's in the corner or whatever. Like, that's not the way they should be playing. Now we'll see. Again, playoffs will be a whole different ball game. Like, at the end of the day, sometimes, and this is always a thing that the eyes don't see in terms of media and the fans and all these narratives. Like, people don't see this and they don't think about this as a hooper. Like, that's why they don't understand why a result is happening. Why did this happen? No, they only see the best version of this player, and they don't look at all versions of this player. And that best version of that player, is that indicative to who they really are? Because who you really are, a lot of the times when you need a bucket and when pressure is there, sometimes you go, or a lot of the times you go to what you know. So that's why when you see KD and Kyrie frying, and what they really know is buckets. Like, the fact that I go to what I know and it's still an Arsenal take, while most people like LeBron, Giannis, Zion, all those guys, they go to what they know. When it's time, when pressure is time, they go to what they know. They won't take the step back. They won't take what they do at minute 1, at minute 2, at minute 5. They go to what they know, which is run to the paint. Your instincts, what you know, what you think in your mind is guaranteed. Because you're always going to do what is guaranteed. So for you, you're guaranteed is paint. You know what I'm saying? For me, my guaranteed is still an elite bucket. That's why they're so elite. Like, I'm taking tough shots, and that's guaranteed. Like, the fact that with pressure, I'm still like, I could trust, like, that's a different mindset and a different echelon that people don't understand. That the Arsenal guys they're always the best players. They always are. They always are. And that's where, you know what I mean? Like, that's a whole different ballgame, a whole different rabbit hole I could go into. Right? But I'm not going to go into that now, because at the end of the day, that's full circle with the Bucks. Are they going to go to what they know when it matters, when pressure is there and shots aren't falling, whatever? Are you going to go to what you know, which is Giannis have the ball, 5 out, go downhill and go to the paint? We have to wait and see that, right? We have to wait and see. So that's why I don't really subscribe to like I don't think the Nets are. I know that was a crucial game, especially in terms of the Nets and the Philly battle for the number 1 seed. Right? Obviously, they lost that game, and now Philly has easier games down the stretch. So it does look like they might be able to get the number 1 seed. I don't think Brooklyn's worried of we got to face the Bucks. We don't want to face the Bucks and Philly. Like, honestly, I think Brooklyn is probably more worried about honestly, I know people might not see it, and it might sound like, it might sound crazy or whatever, but like, Miami and Boston, actually, if I'm the Nets, I'm more so worried about them. Like, just to be honest, like, I'm just looking at it like there's still a weakness with the Bucks and with the Philly. I've always said this time and time. I don't trust them. They almost lost to the Spurs fully healthy. Like, I don't trust them, because at the end of the day, you have a Ben Simmons and you have a Giannis. You have a weakness of someone who can't shoot. There's some way that schematically we could force them to go to that weakness. We could cancel something within you that could change how your team looks completely. That's still the elephant in the room. The Miami and the Celtics, when clicking, they have Arsenal guys. You know what I mean? Their offense is more, if anything, more similar to us. They have unguardable guys, and they have guys who can shoot and do multiple things, come off screen. Like, they have that. Now, the Bucks do have some guys like Drew and Middleton who could do that, but you still have that elephant in the room on the team. So I don't like this media is talking about, they're scared of you don't want them to face the harder team, and you don't want them to face the Philly, and you don't want them to face the Bucks. I mean, honestly, to me, like, I don't think they're even worried too much about that. Like, and then now this is all without Harden. Now you add Harden. Come on, like, so now Joe Harris gets more look. Now, like, you get the more step back, blow by floater. Like, you get that Harden repertoire, and that's potent. At any time, you can go for 42. Like, come on now. He could go for 42 while Katie gets 42. You know what I'm saying? And Kyrie can get 42. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what LA looks like, bro. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all something, man. Like, I look at this completely different, man. I look at it completely different. So, you know, media's going to cap and then going, you know, find ways to be mad about it and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's what elite looks like. We'll see how it pans out. You know what I'm saying? I did like what I saw. We're getting into the playoff push, so you're going to see ramp up. They play today. So, I honestly, from like I said, I want the Nets to apply the same game plan. Apply the same game plan. Don't change nothing, Nash. Don't change nothing. Let's see if Giannis gets buckets. Now, if he's scoring, now we could do something else. But even then, I don't even think do it. Let it be. Honestly, let it be. I've seen, like, this goes further than even just this year. If you go look at the history, most of the times when Giannis is getting almost like 50 and stuff like that, they lose or they're in close games. They're not blowing guys out. When Giannis gets 20 and everybody else is eating, that's when it's blowout. Because those guys are scoring threes. They're scoring jump shots. Like, most of the times, Giannis's 50 is on a lot of twos. The anomaly, this was a random game. He got it on a lot of threes and jump shots. But a lot of the times, he gets 50 on bare paint and 2-2-2-2-2. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's how he gets his buckets. So, like, a lot of the times, it's a close game. You're still in it because it's twos. When the other guys are scoring and, like, he has 15 to 20, you know what I mean? And then Middleton has 30 and Drew Holiday has 20 and, you know, Forbes is like, that's where it's like blowout. And so I would apply the same game plan. I will never change that. And, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how they play tonight and we'll see how it moves. But at the end of the day, I like what I saw. And it was a great game. Hopefully it's another great battle. But this playoff push, we're seeing you're going to start to see a lot of things transpire. You're going to start to see a lot of people are going to show who they are. You're going to start like the mirror is going to go away. The smokes and mirrors is going away. We're now starting to see the dust settle and clarity to see who is who, what is what, how this team's playing, what play style is going to happen. But then in the playoffs, there's going to be another new, you know, reveal of who is who, right? Some teams you're not going to see who they really are till the playoffs, right? Nets is one of them. So, you know, we'll see how it kind of pans out. But at the end of the day, it's what elite looks like at the end of the day, man. I like what I saw, and I was loving it. I was loving it, man. I was loving it.